Can I taste your juice?
Hey folks, PBusardo. I hope this video finds you well. And yes, you too. I figured while I'm kind of running through a few charge cycles on the iStick 50 here, getting ready for this review, I would get the next installment of the China trip videos out there for you, which will be a look at Aspire. Especially since I have a couple of events coming up. What are those events coming up? This weekend, it's going to be the Sky Vapor 2 grand opening. That's going to be at 3405 172nd Street Northeast, number A13, Arlington, Washington. It's going to be on Saturday the 21st from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. A bunch of people are going to be at this one, including my BFF Dimitri. So come on down for a vape and some of the usual ball busting that goes on at these events. All right, it's going to be a good time. Now, the very weekend after that, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make the Tampa VCC event because I am going to be at the Vape in the Fort event. That's going to be the first annual vape convention in Fort Wayne, Saturday, February 28th from 11 to 7 p.m., and it's going to be held at the Hotel Fort Wayne, 305 East Washington Center Road, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Okay, so that's what I got coming up near term. So in this video here, like I said, we are going to get a inside look at Aspire. Now, I don't have as much footage from the Aspire factory as I did for Inikin and for Kanger, okay? But I can definitely give you a look inside and give you a little bit of a tour of that factory as well. You know what I noticed between these factories is that things are very, very similar. The way they're doing things, the way they're set up, the way they're operating, they're all very, very similar. As a matter of fact, a lot of the same like testing equipment in the test labs. So you're going to see a lot of similarities. The one thing that I noticed from the Aspire tour is that things were a little bit more, I don't want to use the term militant, okay? But in a way, especially with the guards saluting us as we walked around, that's in a way how it felt a little bit. And of course, I took a shot at my future career in that factory as well right here. Something else to note about the Aspire factory, out of the three that we did visit, it was the newest facility, okay? So you might, some of that might come across in the video. Now, some of you guys may have seen the photos of me and Dimitri with the flowers. Well, that's where we got them. When we first walked into Aspire, you walk in past the lobby and then you kind of go right into the main sales force area. And they did have them all stand up and applaud for us when we walked in. Oh, God. And they brought us flowers. So, you know, here's a picture of me with my flowers and the two girls who gave them to me. And here's a picture of Dimitri with his flowers and the two girls that gave them to him. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but I do want to point this out. Take a look at the girl's face here in this photo with me. And then take a look at her face with Dimitri. Okay, so this is her with me. This is her with Dimitri. And in the back of that that sales area is where they had the Welcome the Bromance to EI Gate projection on the screen. Once again, we see some of these Chinese companies with a sense of humor. Ha ha ha. Now, much like in the Kanger video, we didn't do a full-on interview at Aspire, but I will introduce you to some of the key players, okay? First of all, there's Tony. Tony's the man, Tony Liu. So he's going to be the owner, the CEO, and president of eGate. Now, you may ask, okay, eGate, what does eGate have to do with Aspire? You can consider Aspire to be like a division of eGate, okay? Now, there's also Alan Liu, and Alan is the general manager for eGate and the vice president of Aspire. And then there's also this guy, Brian. Brian, I guess you can consider him a consultant at Aspire and also a friend of the Liu family there, okay? And Brian was actually the guy who got us into the clone factory. So you're going to hear from Brian in this video. You're going to hear from Brian in the next video as well. And we'll find out more about Brian as we go. So now a couple things you'll notice here, and it's kind of been an ongoing trend. We've met George, and we've met Danny, and we've met David, and now we're meeting Tony. What they do is they take on Western names to just make it easier to do business with them, okay? I call it their stripper names. Also, in one of those photos there, you'll notice Tony is holding a Taste Your Juice mug. What is that? Is that a bribe? No, it's not actually. In the Chinese culture, gift giving is like a common occurrence. It's just kind of a show of respect and friendship. So there's a lot of gift giving both ways. I am by no means a expert on Chinese culture, but I tried to read up on a little of it before I went over there, and that was something that I noticed that that's kind of a common occurrence there. Now, around the sales area were all of the conference rooms and the offices and R&D. That's where Tony's office was. Now, when we got to the research and development area, we were kind of surprised to find out that Tony not only has his big boss office, right, but he also has a workstation in the engineering department, in the research and development department, because Tony is by trade an engineer. And from what I understand, he spends most of his time not in his office, but designing product.
Yeah, this is all sales.
All sales, yeah. Hi, everybody wave. Hi. Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Yes.
This is my assistant here.
Oh, it's your assistant?
I have the prettiest girl in here.
Yes, you do.
Stop it.
No, stop it. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine.
Good to meet you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I love her shoes. Look at those. They're adorable. But you know what's funny? He has the same pair.
Yes.
当然，这是我们的工程研，就是电子烟的研发团队。
This is the engineering department
Okay.
team for e-cigarette.
Okay. Smart people.
So this guy's cool. I work with him a lot.
Okay.
And here's Fugong. Fugong Choji Bong.
Fugong?
Fugong. This guy's super genius right here.
Super genius.
Yeah, he's really
That's right. Super genius. I mean,
This is my worker.
your
workstation.
Yeah.
your workstation.
Yes.
So Tony, I mean,
这是我的，这是我的工作。
okay. So Tony has two spots really. He's got the big boss office, okay,
Right.
and he's got this cubicle right here. So is he chief? He is
And
chief
he actually
engineer.
spends probably more time here than anywhere else.
Right now Tony is an engineer,
He's an
right?
engineer by trade.
我的工作就是一个工程师。
Okay.
Senior engineer. Usually he let people call him not Mr. Liu or Boss Liu, just call him Engineer Liu.
And what's his engineering experience?
我已经是有，如果做工程的话，已经差不多接近做了20年，但是做电子烟的话，做了8年。
20 years for engineering.
20 years for
8
engineering.
years for e-cigarette.
8 years for e-cigarette. What kind of engineering projects did he work on before the e-cigarette?
电子烟之前的话，我就是做那种剪头发的、烫头发的，就是拉直头发的产品。
哦真的
美容器具的，美容器具。
Curling irons and stuff like that.
Curling
Yeah,
irons,
yeah.
hair strainers,
Blow dryers.
blow dryers.
Really?
Beauty products.
Beauty products.
Yes.
Now, once again, in this video, we did talk a little bit about the employees and touched on the dormitories that are part of all these factories.
Yeah, this room is for the staff, the employees.
For break.
Yeah, for break.
员工要中间休息啊，喝咖啡啊，吃东西啊，就是在这
To
里。
drink and
心情很糟糕，就是心情很糟糕的工作人员，我们就让他用那个飞镖飞一下，让他稳定一下心情。
Usually when the work have the bad mood or have a lot of pressure, the work come here to do the.
yeah.
Oh, that's what
Oh, okay, the darts, yeah. Do they don't put your face on the dart? He understood that sometimes. So one thing that people may not know about these factories here and the things that they do for their employees, in addition to the employees getting a salary, they also get room and board, they get meals, right? So all of the complexes work pretty much the same way. It's a factory, and right next to the factory is what they call the dormitory, which is what we see right behind us, right?
I mean, most of the Asian rim, Japan and Taiwan, it's pretty much the same thing. You have the factory complex, which is behind us, and then you have the dormitories right here.
Right, and I think the employer wants to make it a good place for the employee to work because Chinese New Year is coming up, right?
Right.
And from what I understand, with Chinese New Year, a lot of the workers they go back home, right?
Right.
They go and spend time with their families, but
Right.
some of them don't come back, right?
Right, a lot of them work like all year long, save their money up, and then go home, and then they stay home until the money comes, and then come back and go back to work.
Okay. And so you actually lose a number of employees after Chinese New
Sure.
Year. So you have to ramp back up. You got to hire new people. You've got to train those new people. So does productivity and does output and shipping and orders, does all of that suffer like right after the Chinese New Year around here?
Well, actually, going into Chinese New Year, there's a little bit of problems because everybody's thinking about going home. And then you got Chinese New Year's, there's no work going on. Then after Chinese New Year's, you lose a percentage of your force, maybe 30%, 40% maybe.
So you have issues leading up to Chinese New Year. How long does Chinese New Year last?
10 days.
10 days. You're complete shutdown of these factories, and then you got issues right after Chinese New Year.
Right.
So there's a little bit of a challenge right there, right?
Exactly. And then, after Chinese New Year's, then you're down on your workforce, and everybody's coming back from their vacation, so there's a little bit of delay.
Right. Big party here, Chinese New Year?
Oh, incredible. Sounds like Baghdad on D-Day.
Maybe we should come back for that then.
Right.
So Alex was telling me that if you do treat your employees right, they do come back after the Chinese New Year. Can you ask him what does that mean, treating the employees right in this kind of environment?
对员工好的，第一个就是他的工资要按照法规法律所规定的工资，包括他的医疗，包括他的养老保险，然后呢，包括他的宿舍的住宿条件，包括他在那个下班之后他的娱乐上的这个工作，比如是说有没有安排娱乐的时间和娱乐的器具和娱乐的场地给到他们。还有一个，就最重要的是让他们在工作中能够得到快乐和成长，这才是算一个好的公司。
Tony said to treat the employees right means first we have to pay the employees the salary according to the law. Okay, and second, we have to supply them the basic medical care, something like this. And supply them the comfortable living, like this kind of dormitory and the restaurant, and otherwise, after work they can have some place like this. Okay, they can have fun, play ping pong like this.
Now, what about things like employee activities, parties, picnics? Do you do anything like that for the employees?
Activity?
Yeah.
Something like monthly activities.
You do?
Yeah, for the employees.
Like going to the beach,
And going to the beach. And,
going to the mountains, hiking, stuff like that.
yeah, or maybe just have dinner together.
最主要的就是企业要对员工尊重，然后员工能够得到自豪，然后员工能够得到成长的机会
And。what's more important, as the company or factory, we have to respect the employees.
Okay.
And we have to, let the employees, they're proud of the company, the brand.
Okay.
That's more important.
And it's very similar to America. In America, the way we would have to do things, you can't just fire an employee. You have to do warnings. You have to do write-ups. You have to do things
Yeah,
like that, right?
Yes.
We talked about the employees. What's the minimum age to work here?
19岁，最低年龄在19
It's
岁。
18 or 19. Like
18 or 19. Okay.
Yeah, I want to say I'm calling shenanigans on what everybody says about child labor in China. I've been coming here for 6 years, and there's not children working in the factories.
Okay. Well,
Maybe the kids of the owners may be working here. They may be young, but on the whole, the workers here are at least 18 or higher.
okay.
Average age would probably be 20.
Now, do you
So
think
I'm
that's
calling
in every?
shenanigans on that.
Do you think that's in every case, or do you think it's in the cases of those doing it right?
No, I think it's in the majority.
Okay.
Because I've been to a lot of factories, and you saw where we went today, and I'll tell you that there's not a child problem like what the Americans think.
Here's one thing that we can add, Phil, is that this is our third factory tour, and we've seen between the three factories, we've seen 5,000-6,000 employees, and we haven't seen any child labor.
No.
Unless they're bringing 5,000-6,000 people in and setting them down for us to film,
Yeah.
I mean, I find it highly unlikely.
Right.
There might be, yes, absolutely. I think that there is, but in our cases and everything that we visited, we haven't experienced that
Right.
With these factories.
Right. And how many employees do you employ?
I mean, really?
No, we have totally 1,500.
1,500 employees total.
很多工人，大多数很多工人都是骑着自行车回家，上班和回家的，所以我们给他们提供充电啊。
Yeah, this is our, our employees, transportation.
还有就是开
Okay.
开轿车。
Tony provides them with charging stations for their electric scooters.
Okay.
Pretty much everything that they would need.
Oh, we also got a chance to meet Tony's dog. And out of everybody we met in China, Tony's dog was the only one who was not very nice to us.
He doesn't like Greek. No, he doesn't like Greek. Let me see. Like Italian. No, doesn't like Italian either.
哎，乐吧，哎，
Dimitri,
He almost has American sushi.
dude, come on, put your hand in the cage. Come on, put your hand in the cage. Come on, be a team player.
All right, so now let's head into the factory and see what's going on in the floors. Now, in this factory, again, newer, but things are just a little bit different. The employees had definitely more coverage on them, and we didn't have to wear booties or hats. We didn't have an air shower to go through, but there were metal detectors everywhere, and there's a reason for that. You'll find out why later on.
Final product. Hold on.
There's always one.
Pink.
There's always one.
Quality control. Quality control, right?
We'll get you a pink EJ jacket. How about that?
QC.
Yeah. Okay.
See, pink is very, very powerful.
Pink.
Every quality control.
Always in
wears
pink. I know.
That's the final assembly right there of the battery, and then after this it'll go to the PC.
Yeah.
How many different model batteries do you have at this point?
We have
Sub-ohm.
we have G-Power,
Right.
we have Windy, we have Sabo, we have Safe Mode.
Okay.
No, four.
And then the Ego.
G-Power, four.
What's your biggest seller right now?
That I don't know.
Sabo.
Sub-ohm. Now this very quiet in here too. Is it always very quiet in here? Do they ever?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
We've noticed that everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. They just work and work and work and.
It is actually pretty quiet. The only time you hear chatter is like when it comes
Why,
up to break.
why is he all by himself? I feel so bad for him. Is he okay?
He's in timeout.
Okay.
He's been a bad worker.
You know, I mean, you really can't make this stuff up, right?
I mean-
we come up with a pink, the
You're right.
pink skit 3 years ago.
Right.
We come up with the pink skit? No, my friend. I came up with the pink skit. And it all started right here.
And all of a sudden we're in China, everybody's wearing pink.
Everybody's wearing pink.
You can't make this up.
And look at this. This is the Dimitri area right here.
充电检查，充电检查。
Yeah, this is the charging test.
Yep.
Check for the battery.
Okay, and every battery goes through this?
Yeah.
Okay, every single battery. Also, every adapter, every cable as well gets checked. Okay. So they're basically plugging it in, looking at the output voltage, and off it goes. Oh, we have the professional vapors here. Yep.
Yeah.
Here they are. Now, do they actually vape every battery? Is that what they're doing here?
Yeah, just a couple of puffs.
Just a
Each
couple of
battery.
puffs. Okay,
Yeah.
so not only does every battery get tested over there, and we're going to go take a look at that in a second, but every battery actually gets vaped with a clearomizer.
Yes.
Are you actually charging every battery to full capacity before they go out?
Actually, it's something like 80%.
80%? Okay, before they get shipped.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the new blue carbon fiber CF sub-on batteries.
And then how many people does it take to make these atomizers? This many.
Tony and I worked really hard on making this as clean as possible for a work area. So if you notice, and probably not many factories have this, but it's all stainless steel trays, and the people do wear these outfits. Here.
Okay. So then they're not doing this for show.
No.
Impressive.
It'd be interesting right here. You know the little rubber gasket? That's on the bottom of the Atlantis. How pressure fitted. That's where it's happened right there.
告诉他，是我们所有的这种夹具的话，就是夹具来保证它。
So even though it looks like maybe they're just whipping this stuff together, stuff, these are all jigged out to specification.
Right. So they're you can set the pressure on them.
Right.
Right.
It's already set, has a bottom out point, it has a position point.
Right.
So even though it looks like it's nothing, like they just slam it together, it actually has,
Of course.
has
Pressure,
jigs
everything is.
and all that.
Yeah, you stop.
It's like a torque wrench for pressure fitting.
Exactly.
It gives it.
So here at the Aspire plant, see, I say it the right way, Dimitri. We're building the Atlantis coils. Take a look at the line right here. And I actually went to reach for something because I heard some information out there that they're not using the older material that they used to use. Now they've gone to an all organic cotton material. So I actually have some of that material in my hand, and this is it. I'm not getting that crumbliness from it anymore. So hopefully a better material, and from what I understand, a material that's going to give us better flavor as well. Also, there were some issues with the chrome-plated brass with their tank. I know their entire tank has changed to a full solid stainless steel. The only part of the tank that's not a solid stainless steel is the atomizer casing itself. This is going to be a nickel-plated brass. Okay, so everything else is all stainless, and now we have the new cotton material. And so here's the coils for the Atlantis, and now these aren't made here. These are actually outsourced.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What's the now I already know that we have Canthal.
Yeah.
What's the gauge of the Canthal?
The gauge is, as I remember, it's 20. It's 26.
26 gauge?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. She takes the coil. She puts the cotton in it.
Oh, we got a little.
You actually
tool.
see it wrap. Okay, this is cool. This is cool. Let's
This might help people that are rebuilding too.
so this could help people potentially with rebuilding this. Get in here as far as I can go. Folds it. Puts the coil on the tool. Wraps the cotton around the coil. Inserts the tool in the casing. Did I see that right? Yep.
Slides the cotton down the.
Slides it down.
Because that is a T shape that holds the coil
Yep.
down before popping out.
Little insulator on there. And that's it. Ready to go. Now, I would recommend to them to sell that little T tool, but that could hurt sales.
It's very, very simple to make.
It is very simple, yeah.
There's probably something on the market too that'll do the same job.
So once again, you know, we've seen QC in pink, but this woman right here, what does she do?
She's the line leader, so she oversees everything. So she oversees the workers making the stuff and the people doing the QC.
Okay. You don't want to be on her bad side, is what you're saying,
No,
right?
not at all.
Does she crack the whip? Have you ever seen her go off a little bit? Yeah?
Sure.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's people like her that make this stuff work. People are passionate about what they do. And E-Gate does a good job of finding those people.
I'm wondering if I could transfer her to my restaurant to keep my staff.
You can have her walk up and down. Maybe
She'd be good.
maybe you need some pink hats at your restaurant too. I don't know, man. I've eaten the food at your restaurant. I don't think you need quality control. Everything's been really good. Aww.
That's so sweet of you.
All right. So how many Atlantis coils do we crank out in a day here?
Oh, holy crap, I don't know.
150,000.
150,000 come out per day. Per day.
And there's still shortages.
And there's still shortages. Okay.
If you put Phil on the line, that would make it 160,000 plus 5.
And
a day.
five more we add to the line. So once again, these folks right here, their job is to screw all day. That's exactly what they're doing. They're screwing each and every one of the, how many? 100,000 plus? 160,000. They're screwing everyone on. They're looking for conductivity. They're looking for the resistance level.
And once again, we saw a lot of quality control with the people in pink there. We saw a lot of initial quality control as the raw products come into the factory, and we saw a lot of testing going on too.
From all, okay, so this is raw material.
Right.
Yes,
So like,
raw material.
like Aspire and Anakin and all these companies,
Right.
They're basically final assembly factories. They
Right.
don't do a whole lot of manufacturing of raw products themselves. All that's farmed out, like the stuff you see here. These are all coming from screw shops or machine shops or injection molding shops who are contracted out to make the parts, come back here, come back together. So the wonderful Aspire products that you use today.
And all these products are, they come in here. This is the first step. They still undergo some kind
Right
of
here,
quality
this
control.
is for storage, and then the next step, which
We're gonna go
I
through
guess
that.
we'll see, but that would be IQC, where
Right.
they check everything, make sure the tolerances are right, and there's no chipping or whatever, and then they go into production, and then again they get checked through production, and then you have the line leaders that you saw that oversee that, and then after everything's done, then they check it one more time before it gets packaged up and sent to you, the wonderful consumer.
Kiss ass. Right. So Dimitri, we've talked about IQC before, but we've actually never given a definition. We know QC is quality control. What is I?
I think it's individual quality control.
Initial.
Is it initial?
Initial, yeah.
So this is probably while the parts come in, they check it before they send them up to the.
Now, you don't test? Do you test every single part in IQC, or do you do a sampling of parts? Sampling. Okay.
Random.
Right.
But if they found some problem, it's high percentage.
Yep.
So then we will send this back to the supplier to make a 100% check.
Okay. Do you yell at the supplier?
Of course.
Good answer, Alan.
So this worker here is testing the threading on the Nautilus tanks. Well, I always thought I screwed around a lot in my videos, but there's a lot of screwing going on at these factories. There really is.
This machine is testing the battery.
This is a battery.
Battery life test.
Okay. So again, this is a random sampling that happens here. Okay. So you're testing the output of a random sample of batteries, correct? Okay. Here.
雾化器的测试，这是雾化器的测
Test
试。
the atomizer.
Testing your atomizers.
Test the light.
Testing the life of the atomizer itself. How many puffs? Okay. So do you have to keep refilling these and refilling them and refilling them? Yeah? Okay. Let's see if we get them to fire here. They'll fire again shortly. So basically so here you're stress testing. You're stress testing all of the products. Oh, there they go. Oh, this one not so good.
Yeah, and all this machine is designed by Tony.
Oh, Tony makes all. Tony, so you engineered all of the automation for testing then?
Yeah.
Okay. The wiggle and jiggle machine.
这是那个 battery
So you're testing.
电线的300个平方后面中间。
Check the light pump, after 300 cycle.
Okay. So you're basically draining them, you're charging them, you're draining them and charging them. Make sure you get at least how many cycles? 300 cycles. Okay. Okay.
Salt spray test.
Salt spray test. Okay. We open it up. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I mean, not only do you want the product to be like water resistant, but you also don't want it to corrode with the salt water. Okay.
This is why we test the nicotine level in the trees.
You test what?
We test the
Nicotine level?
nicotine level in juice. How much nicotine in it?
Okay, so this is for your nicotine products. Okay. Your pre-filled cartomizers. Right? Okay.
And also we have breathing test and a high temperature test.
Okay. So testing different environmental conditions. Any soda in there?
See if it's got any meat inside there.
Oh, okay, look at that.
Look at that.
So you have product in there.
I think it's got some leftover dinner too.
You want to do a shot, whatever's in there?
这个是红枣，这是这个红枣特色。
Yeah, it's hot.
Hot.
Very hot.
Yeah. Very good.
Now, one thing we did see at Aspire that we didn't see at the other factories was this room where they did kind of overall factory viewing, monitoring, security, and safety for the entire plant.
You saw me on the meeting.
Where did that go right there?
I think she's slacking off right there. I think it's employee number 989 right there.
Oh,
look at that.
Oh, no, they zoomed in on her. That's her right there.
That's it. That's
Right. Look at her.
Look, she's putting coils in her pocket. Stop her. See, you wouldn't have been able to get out of the stock. Oh, you're completely dark. No, you wouldn't have been able to get out of the stock room with that box of coils. I don't think so.
No, there was no way.
No.
We were monitored the whole
time,
experience.
yep.
Is that the main purpose for the surveillance system is to make sure there's no fires anywhere for safety purposes?
Yeah.
Okay.
In addition to make sure the employees.
Right.
The main purpose is still for safety.
Is employee theft an issue?
没有，很少，几乎没有。
It's extremely rare.
Extremely rare. Okay.
为什么我们这里没有呢？因为我们这里做了很多宣传和做了很多安全防护设备。你看我们出门进门，他们只要是拿东西就马上会响，自动就会响。所以呢，很多人知道我们公司的安全做得很高，所以就不敢拿东西了。那么在以前的话，可能其他公司安全设备做得不高的时候，会有这种现象。
Okay, so what Tony said was because they do a lot of security measurements to protect their interests, for example, the metal detectors and so forth. So if you walk out of that room, the metal detector will go off. And because employee knows that these safety measures are in place, they're afraid and not willing to risk their job with such great benefits
Sure.
just to steal one product.
Makes sense.
Does the metal detector work with nickel-plated brass as well? Or just
主要的工作还是要教育功能，就不断的通过管理人员教育和宣传功能的这种思想行为。
Is it the most important thing we have to do is to educate the employees and teach them, what's the right thing to do and don't do anything that's wrong, basically.
I think that's fantastic. That's really good. By the way, my Chinese is getting much better. This right here, it says, keep close eye on Dimitri. That's what that says right there. So what actually does that say up there?
So up here it says carefully monitor each screen to make sure there's no fire, theft, and distractions for workers.
Okay.
Workers cannot be on their phones, cannot be asleep, and cannot be damaging company property. Or playing with each other, horsing around while at work. You can't eat in your workroom. No gum. Parking for motorized vehicles. And at the bottom it has their leaders, different security groups that have code names for phone numbers to call for different instances.
Okay.
Phil,
Yeah.
we'd be fired in 5 minutes.
And that right there at the end was Alex from EC Supply. He was there to take part in the Sevilla conference that went on, and he also acted as our interpreters for that conference. So I do thank him for that. And that's about all I have for you from the Aspire facility. Again, thank you to Tony and to Alan and to Brian and to everybody else who was involved in allowing us to look behind the scenes at Aspire. I hope you guys enjoyed it. After that was over, we went for dinner. Now, I got some time to spend here in this video, so let's talk a little bit about the food, because the food was... I want to go back. It's not like Chinese food here. Now, let's talk about night one, when we got there and we got to the hotel. We were hungry and we wanted to go get something to eat, and they sent us to this barbecue place that was down the road. And I figured barbecue, I'm thinking American barbecue. Well, this was the barbecue place that they sent us. Now, I am an adventurous eater, so I have no problem with that food at all. The problem that I had, the issue that I had was it was day one in China, and the last thing that I wanted to have happen was something to go wrong with the stomach on day one. So I thought maybe that wasn't the best idea for day one. So instead, we went right next to the hotel. There was this street, and like literally every building on the street was a restaurant. So we found one, and we had some hot pot. We did that with, let's see, Brandon was there, Trent was there, Dimitri was there, and George from Innikin was there. And it was actually very, very good. There was like a mild side and a spicy side, and you just kind of put everything in the broth, and you ate it, and you enjoyed it. And I did enjoy it. It was really good. Drinks there. What did we have with dinner? First of all, it was very, very hard to find a Diet Coke. Almost non-existent. Coke Zero, found some of those. But for the most part, what we had with about every dinner was apple vinegar. Okay, now I know how horrible that sounds, but supposedly it's really good for digestion, and you would think it would be like vinegary, but no, it actually tasted just like apple juice. So that was good. Now, day two, after some shopping, we did go for some more Chinese food, and the restaurants there they're interesting because from what I saw, there were like three different kinds. There was restaurants with general seating. Then there were the restaurants with general seating and private rooms. And then there were like the boss restaurants that had private rooms only. Okay, and you'll see one of those in a little bit. But at this restaurant, this is how you picked your food. No, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a pet store. You just kind of chose what you want. You chose the style of cooking, and everything was pretty fresh. I mean, it's swimming around. You could kind of see it out here. And that's how this restaurant worked. Now, one night Brian did bring us out for sushi. Yes, I happen to be a big sushi fan. As a matter of fact, I would like to apologize to the entire People's Republic of China for Dimitri's use of chopsticks. Very embarrassing, folks. Very embarrassing. As a matter of fact, I think it was the second or third night, he just kind of gave up and he did ask for a fork. Now, I happen to be a big Asian food fan, so I think I am actually quite good with chopsticks. As a matter of fact, when I am not on video, I do use chopsticks to wick my coils. And it was at this this Japanese restaurant where we had sushi. Then I had probably one of the more interesting dishes that I've ever had before, and that would be the fermented beans.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. Give me a review on that one right there. Live.
Oh, man. See, you had one of those, that's how your jizz will be later, too.
All right. Why are you flapping your mouth like that?
It's a little funky. It's an acquired
Yeah, you
taste.
can't. I'm not seeing no street shadow on that one.
Yes, beer chaser absolutely required. Yeah, it was a little funky, more in the consistency than the actual flavor. But when I do that with food and there's a big string hanging down, I want that to be pizza, not beans. And by the way, you hear Dimitri giggling in the background. That's kind of his MO. It's like, let Phil try it first. If he survives, then maybe I'll try it too. Now, I also learned from Brian that in China, McDonald's delivers. Now, I will say all of the three big companies that we went to visit, Anakin, Kangar, and Aspire, did treat us to some really, really spectacular meals. As a matter of fact, there were times that I actually felt guilty that my close friends and family couldn't be a part of it with me. Now, here are some photos of the first meal that we had with Anakin. Again, just some really amazing food. The Chinese food there isn't as heavy and as thick and as sugary as some of the dishes that we have here, you know, like sesame chicken and General Chicken. And the way they serve it is interesting too, because everything's kind of ordered family style. So you go to the restaurant, there's like this big book and you order out of the book, and then everybody sits down. Even where you sit down, there's like cultural differences there too. Like guest of honor sits at one seat, and then there's like the next most important person sits next to that person, and just very, very interesting the way the culture works there. And I never knew if I was like allowed to take pictures. I mean, you're always kind of like second guessing yourself to make sure that you're not offending because of the cultural differences. So yeah, again, everything is served kind of family style. All of the tables have like a big turntable right in the center of them. I felt right at home being an ex-DJ. I just wanted to scratch it up a little bit. But yeah, the food just kind of comes around and you pick off the plate as it comes around. Now, I said earlier I was going to show you one of the rooms that we had a meal in, and this is a meal that we had with Kangar. This is us kind of walking into the room. Really kind of impressive, folks.
Oh, wow.
When we walk in, the first thing we see is like this fully automated mahjong table.
Oh, yeah.
And Dimitri sits right down and as a joke throws money out on the table right in front of Danny, the owner of Kangar. And I'm thinking to myself, if Danny doesn't know this is a joke, Danny is going to own every bit of money that Dimitri has and probably his restaurant as well. But luckily, he did know that it was a joke. And then right next to the mahjong table is a kind of just like this lounge area. That's where the ordering happened. We had some drinks and conversation there. And then we went up to the main dining area where we had the meal. Again, another just amazing meal. We had lobster sashimi. If you don't know what sashimi is, it's raw. It's raw lobster. How fresh was the lobster? Well, the lobster was still moving as we were eating it. Some of you may think that's cruel. I see it as survival of the fittest. And then we had this pig. And let me tell you something. This is one pig I would be happy to bring home to Mom. I don't know if it was fried or baked. Probably fried. And the back of the pig was scored, and you take a little piece of the meat and you dip it in sugar and then a sauce, and the skin was just like so crunchy and crispy and melt in your mouth. Just one of the most amazing things I've ever eaten. And the meals with Anakin and with Aspire were just as impressive. As a matter of fact, Tony even announced, did you notice anything different about the meal? And we couldn't figure it out. And then he said that he had ordered special for us because from the Western culture, to have all of the bones and all of the shells removed from all of the dishes, because a lot of the Chinese dishes come bone in, be it a meat dish or a fish dish. So he did that for us. Just, unbelievable. And there's a lot of drinking that goes on at these meals. As a matter of fact, with Tony, we went through 2 magnums of Remy VSOP. A lot of drinking, a lot of toasting that goes on. There are general toasts for the entire table, and then there are individual toasts with just a single person to show respect to that person. And when somebody toasts with you in China, typically their glass will come underneath your glass to show their respect for you. But I don't consider myself above anybody, so I bring my glass down a little bit. Then they bring their glass down further, and before you know, you're fighting for who's on the bottom of the toast. As a matter of fact, with Kanger, we took part in this little festivity right here.
One by one?
Yeah, buddy. Hey. Okay.
Next. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you. Hi.
Hey.
All right. Hello. Next. Thank you.
Yeah. It gets harder after the 4th run.
We stayed at the wrong hotel.
Yeah, we really did.
Hell yeah.
Oh, there you go.
3 more, 10 more girls. It's okay.
Oh, more. He's going for another round.
All together, right? All together. Oh, I got the group side.
I didn't get the... Oh. Wow. How you feeling? Welcome to China.
There's no words I can describe.
There really aren't any.
Exciting?
Very exciting. 5.
And of course, I got to partake in that festivity as well. Just to honor the culture and to be a team player. And then yes, on the last day, we finally did try some street food.
I didn't eat any of this kind of food during the entire trip, just in case, something bad happened. But this is our last day here, so we're gonna give some street food a shot here. You know you're gonna eat it too.
No doubt.
Of course.
I'm down for a challenge. Let's see what we got.
Just make sure it's hot. You know what? We should go for it. What do you think?
You want to go for a squid? I'll go for a squid.
We'll do a squid too.
1 squid, 1 lamb, and 1 pork. Personally, I think we're going to be spending the night in Hong Kong in the bathroom.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Let's start with it. Not happy? Happy. We got a squid. It's really good. It's really good. It's like bizarre foods with PBusardo right here in Shenzhen, China. It's really good. Here, I feed this to you. Here comes it. Here it comes. It's actually really good. Yeah. The chicken won't even be a challenge now.
Is it hot?
Hot what?
Spicy?
Spicy hot or hot?
Spicy.
A little spicy, not bad.
Have a squid.
Brandon wants to try the squid.
Brandon, have a squid.
Step up, Brandon.
Step up to the plate. There you go. Just take the stick. Take the stick. There you go.
It concerns me when you grab it like that. Don't pull too hard, Brandon. Very good. Try it out. Right, it's like it's like a barbecue, almost like a barbecue sauce.
It's like a curry.
Yeah, okay.
It has like a curry taste. Not bad. I mean, It probably looks more intimidating than, you know, but when you try it, it's actually pretty good.
Let's be honest, we've seen stuff that's a lot more intimidating than this, right?
No doubt about that.
You have it all over your face. Hold on, Jordan. Realize that. There you go.
I got squid.
Squid. It works. It works. Yeah. What is that? Chinese bird? What kind of bird?
Chinese bird. Keep in mind, we have no idea what kind of bird this is. It could be chicken, ostrich, pterodactyl, big bird. We don't know, but we're going to try it. And yes, the mystery Chinese bird was really good too. As a matter of fact, none of us, the whole time we were there, had any kind of stomach issues whatsoever. The water at the hotels, we did have to use bottled water even to brush our teeth, but no issues, no issues. And that is the end of this video in the series. We got one more to come, and then that'll be it until the next time, if there is a next time. So I hope you enjoyed the look at Aspire. I hope you enjoyed the look at some of the foods that we ate there. As always, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.
So overall, what do you think?
Thumbs up, man.
Thumbs up, yeah, it's not bad.
Street shout out.
Yeah, well, literally.
Literally, street shout out. No, it's good. Good.
Can I taste your juice?